Willie D Live.
What's up, family? What's done in the dark will come to light. There are reports out that Barry White tried to warn Luther Vandross about Clive Davis's penchant for black meat. Yeah, fam. Yeah, man. So you know Clive Davis has been tied to this thing that's going on with Diddy. A lot of people suspecting that Clive Davis' hands are dirty in all of these Diddy allegations. And the only reason why he hasn't been dragged into a courtroom is because he is a white male and loaded with paper. Barry White was something different, fam. If you didn't know him, you need to get to know him. Barry White, besides his music, as far as just a man, Barry White was a man's man. Barry White stood on business before it was popular to just say stood on business. Barry White was not just a great artist, not just a great businessman, but he was a great man, stood on principles, and he would say things that were unpopular and he wouldn't backtrack. He wouldn't apologize. He even once said that he didn't believe in God. He believes in the God in him. There's a God in each of us. He believes in that. But he don't believe there's some guy in the sky. He said he don't believe it. He said that on national television and people came for him, but he survived it. He stood on it. He said, this is my belief. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but this is what I believe. Barry White said that the same people complaining about going out of business, we're talking about the music business, are the same people making the blank tapes for the people to record it. I ain't got no problem with that. Real talk, and I never even thought about it, fam. I never made the connection. The same people in the music business who complain every single year about going out of business are the same ones who are making the blank tapes. They're the same ones who make these particular websites and software that allow you to store music. Today, it's different. We're talking now we're past recording the music onto tape. Now we're talking about storing the music on certain devices and stuff. The same people, these are the same people who are paying artists a penny for 1,000 streams, who are getting over big time. They're the same ones who are complaining about the music industry suffering. Barry White said that when man becomes disenchanted with just making a living, when he turns to greed, it gets him every time. Greed is like a poison. The same thing happened to disco. The same thing happened with rock and roll. The same thing happened with hip hop. It's happening right now with hip hop. Even though rock and roll and hip hop is still very much viable mediums, very much viable genres, it's bad because of greed. And the door is wide open for anybody, just anybody to come in and get some action. Most of the people, I would dare say, that are involved in the music industry right now that's getting money out of the music industry care nothing about the music industry. They care nothing about the integrity of the art. They're just trying to get a check. Clive Davis has worked with everybody from David Bowie to Diana Ross to Shaka Khan to Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, the list goes on. Whitney, Alicia Keys. The list is extensive. So he has a lot of power. And around the time that Luther was sick, back in the early 2000s, he was having problems with his weight and things like that. That was speculation that it was because of his relationship with Clive Davis. Now, nobody knows how much influence Clive actually had on Luther's health, but there is suspicion that it had something to do with Clive Davis. Clive Davis has long been rumored to be a gay dude. Luther has long been rumored to be gay, but Luther never came out of the closet while he was alive. And he said the reason why he didn't want to come out of the closet, this is according to Patti LaBelle, who was a close friend of Luther, who revealed that he was a homosexual years after he died, because she said that Luther did not want his mother to know about his sexual orientation. And so she felt that after Luther died and after his mom had died, she could go ahead and let the cat out of the bag, which many people believe that his mom already knew, but he didn't want to subject her to that. He didn't want to face that reality while she was alive. In 1987, Luther was scheduled to appear on his second Soul Train Music Awards, and he allegedly called his friend Patti LaBelle 3 weeks before and said he would not be able to do it because he was uncomfortable with his weight. Patti and Whitney and others tried to talk him down and say, "No, man, look, man, people coming to see you because of your music, because of your voice, not because of your weight. They're coming to see you because of your voice," but they could not convince Luther to perform. So he didn't. In 2003, Luther had a stroke and was left in a coma for almost 2 months. Then, sadly, in July of 2005, in fact, on July 1st, 2005, Luther died in New Jersey. He died at JFK Medical Center in New Jersey. Some people still blame Clive Davis for Luther's health issues. They think that Clive Davis put a lot of pressure on Luther. Clive Davis has been accused of putting a lot of pressure on a lot of artists, especially black artists, because, you have a lot of power. He got them sign the contracts, and, he's basically have stewardship over their careers. So his opinion had a lot of weight. Some people say he used that weight to take advantage of male artists. Yeah. And other people in the music industry, including A&R people, managers, all kinds of people. They say Clive Davis is the devil himself. That said, Luther Vandross's music cannot be denied. His voice is one of a kind. It's the voice of a generation. Cannot be duplicated. So regardless of Luther's sexual orientation, like Barry White, Luther has left us with a wealth of great music that will stand the test of time. But I do want to say that it's important for anybody that's trying to get in this game to be very cautious of what's out there. Be very cautious of some of the snakes that are in this game. Heed the warnings of those who have already did it, those who have already been where you're trying to go. And when it comes down to this money, and this goes for every industry out there, this goes for any situation you can ever be in life. Don't ever allow an opportunity to outweigh your convictions. If you don't know what you will do for money, you better know what you won't do. Or else you can find yourself doing something strange for a little change. No more talk.